Welcome to the National Championship edition of Johnny's Scramble Drill. I'm Colin Wilson, joined as always by Johnny Manziel, and we're here to break down Monday's national championship game between Notre Dame and Ohio State. But before we do that, there's been no shortage of college football news over the last week, including some of the big name quarterbacks. So I want to get Johnny's take on that first. Let's get started with a quarterback that we thought was going to be getting into the NFL. Instead, he's taking his talents to South Beach. So Johnny, Carson Beck pulls out of the draft, transfers to Miami. Reports coming out of Georgia are we offered him first. We wanted him to stay. He elected to leave. What do you think of Beck's decision?
Yeah, I think it's probably a good decision for him to be able to stay another year and kind of build on his college career a little bit. I don't think he really had the year this year that he was expecting to have, or a lot of us were really expecting him to have at Georgia. Obviously, ended it on an injury note there, but getting another chance to go to Miami, have another year, build himself back up, and put himself in a good position to be able to hopefully for him, be drafted early in the first round next year.
Yeah, hopefully he can stay off those Drew Aller yachts that were going on around the Orange Bowl, and he can hang behind that huge offensive line. But Johnny, for a college age kid, and say maybe a college age Johnny, how much of a difference is it when you have a girlfriend that's in a different state, a different school? Does that impact your transfer decision? Do you think there could be emotion that drove this selection?
No, I think it definitely, probably factored into the situation a little bit. But at the end of the day, these NIL reports coming out, he's making a pretty big bag to be able to, hop down and go live on South Beach for a year and still get a chance to play football. So not a bad gig whatsoever.
Yeah, not at all. Quinn Ewers also going to the NFL. I'm not sure if he wanted to go or if he was told to go or if he was got a good thinks he's going to get a good draft grade because it's Arch Manning's job. But what is Ewers' biggest strengths for NFL teams that will fall in love with him?
I think obviously he's got a lot of experience. I think he throws the ball really, really well. I think there's just been some times where decision making, for him hasn't always been the best. But I think he's got an opportunity to obviously get somewhere, get drafted, and be able to develop. I like Quinn. I like the way he plays, obviously, and I think he'll have a chance to be able to go be a good quarterback at the next level.
Yeah, he was fantastic against the Blitz this year. That should pay off in the NFL. What about Arch Manning? He is staying back. It's going to be Arch Manning's season inside of Austin, which to me, Johnny, says that the red zone efficiency of Texas should be a lot better running that RPO. What's your take on Arch now being in charge in Texas?
I think this is what all the Texas fans want. This is what the clamoring and all the hoopla you've been hearing all year from them is to put Arch in. So, now they get their chance. Obviously really highly touted. He's played sparingly here at times. So, gonna be really interesting to see how he comes in and handles this Texas program because, for all the hate that Quinn Ewers does kind of get, he led that team really, really well, got them back to the college football semifinal and back-to-back years, a lot of wins in Austin. I can think back to 10, 12 years ago. Texas wasn't in this position to have a guy like Quinn Ewers. And now you go from Quinn Ewers to Arch Manning. So, things in the quarterback position in Austin looking pretty good for them so far, but we'll see how it goes next year.
Yeah, no reason for Texas to not be a top three team to win the national title heading into the 2025 season. Let's talk about this national title. Let's go to the championship preview here. Looking at Ohio State -8 in the market as you and I record this with a total of 46, 46 and a half in some parts. What does Riley Leonard and the Notre Dame offense need to do to have success against this Ohio State defense that has completely changed themselves in cover one by allowing Caleb Downs to roam? What does Notre Dame need to do to beat that?
I think they're just going to have to be able to run the ball. Riley Leonard's going to have to try his best to be able to hit some play action shots. But really, I think a lot of this game, comes down to the defense for Notre Dame. There's a lot of pressure on them to stop this Ohio State, offense. It's been kind of running it well for the most part throughout this college football playoff. They're going to have to find a way, even if the offense is struggling a little bit, is stalling out, to be able to keep Notre Dame in this game with some big stops and some turnovers for them or, you can't see Jeremiah Smith and these guys running down the field if you're a Notre Dame fan, or it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, speaking of the other side of the ball, Notre Dame is number one in pass defense. They run a ton of man coverage through defensive coordinator Al Golden. They're going to take on the number two passing offense here with Ohio State. What we know about Ohio State is they have elite wide receivers that we're going to see at the next level with Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka down in the slot. Which one of these wide receivers do you think has the better edge, and how will it fare in this matchup against Notre Dame?
Yeah, I think with all this man coverage, you hear Jeremiah Smith say, anytime these DBs are giving me a chance to go man on man, I'm wanting the ball and I'm going to be open too. So, I think anytime they see man coverage in this, he's going to be one person that's absolutely salivating. So, I think the advantage is to him. It's something he kind of lives for. But, this Notre Dame group is really, really talented. Obviously, they've been doing this all year. at a very high level. So it should be a really good matchup at those skill positions.
So finally, Johnny, we got to put you on the spot and get a predicted final score. I know we just finished our BBOC podcast. Stuckey and I both agree that we like Ohio State. Johnny, give us a final score prediction, and who do you think covers this game?
I'm going Ohio State to cover, and I'm going to predict the final score. Let's say I think Ohio State can score 35. So let's go 35-21 Ohio State and crown our national champion.
Yeah, I would, with my over ticket, would be extremely happy with that. If you had to make a single game parlay with a couple of props in there, where would you target?
I'd go Jeremiah Smith anytime touchdown, and then I would probably go over on Ohio State team total points. I think the way that Ohio State has played on offense throughout this, they've only gotten better as it's gone on a little bit. Obviously, a little bit stagnant in that Texas game, but for the most part, this is a unit that depending on Will Howard plays, they're really really solid and can hit a home run at any point in time.
All right, that's going to do it for Scramble Drill for this week and for the season. Johnny, thanks for joining me all season. Good luck.
Appreciate it, my friend. Had a great time.